Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes or Less Ship Review, I'm taking a look at the Fury LX, and the Fury MX. Let's see what the difference is between all three of these ships, and why you should probably buy one over the other. Let's take a look. Now, starting off, I do want to address a pretty big elephant in the room when it comes to these ships, and that's the big question of, well, can I fly these anywhere and do anything with them? Technically, yes, but more realistically, no. As a new pilot in Star Citizen, do not be fooled by these ships because they do not have a quantum drive. So that means if you buy this ship, you will be stuck where you spawn it unless you have another means of transport, or like a friend, or if you have a bigger ship you can put these on, or if you want to spawn them like I did here at a ground station, which this one's here is Shubin on Daymar, then they can be quite, amazing. But that's kind of your cutoff point on whether or not it becomes useful for you, or if it doesn't. Now, if you look past the quantum drive situation, there is a lot to say about these little ships, and they are very tiny. These ships are extremely hard to spot on a radar. Usually when you're fighting them or with them, you are only going to see this thing at about 2,000 meters away. Same with, when you're in the ship. It's really hard to get detected because you're just such a small target. Now, this is the base Fury, which is considered a snub fighter. Then you have the Mirai Fury LX, which is the snub racer, and then you have the Fury MX, which they call a bomber, and there's a reason for it. Starting with the base Fury here, it has a total of 571 DPS, so you're not putting out too much damage, and there's kind of a reason for it. Your capacitors are kind of low, so you just have very limited shots with this thing, and you are very hard to hit if you know how to maneuver well in it, but you also have a very low amount of shield and ship HP. Starting off, you do have a total of 1,350 shield, and that is a bubble shield, so no matter where you're hit, it will take away from that shield. And then your ship HP isn't too much farther off at 6,614. Now, I will tell you right now, that is the same for the Mirai Fury MX. So they both have the same amount of shield and the same amount of ship HP. It's a pretty big struggle. If you get hit, you are going to take damage fast and probably explode even faster. So you got to use the size advantage here. It's very fast, it's very maneuverable, and it's very small. So that is your biggest, key to success with these ships, is using that against your target. Because you really are not going to find a target smaller than this that is in space or flying around, which that's great. You're like an annoying mosquito around big ships. Now, in the future with master modes and stuff, these ships will become quite useless against big targets. These aren't really supposed to be for big targets, but they are considered a swarm type vessel, which what that means is you have 20 Furies or 20 Furies mixed with, 10 Fury and 10 Fury MXs, and they swarm a target, making it extremely hard to hit them and, taking out the enemy just over time. Still, though, there's just a lot of times where you're flying a ship solo and you're just not going to have too many targets to go after. This is a great ship, though, if you are fighting in a group or, taking on other very light targets. Now, again, no quantum drive. You're not going anywhere far, so make sure you have a bigger ship to transport it or a friend with a bigger ship. Outside of that, this ship does have 4 size 2 CF-227 Badgers, and those are the guns mounted here on the wings. And then has 4 size 2 Ignite 2 missiles, which, that's good. Always good to have missiles. There, you can see them on the wing, one on each one. Interesting. And a max speed of 1,250, which, again, is really fast for such a small ship. Let's go ahead and move on to the LX really quick. This is the racing variant. So I'm going to tell you right now, this ship, not a single weapon on it. There's no guns, there's no missiles. It's quite a difference compared to the last racing ship that I, reviewed. The Razor, it has guns. This one doesn't. But this ship is really fast. It's very fast. Its acceleration is amazing. Don't mind me, I can't talk right now. Its acceleration is really amazing, and it's very nimble, and it can fly. The maneuverability is just fantastic. The engines from the Xi'an technology here is just phenomenal. Love it. And it's just, it's actually a really cool looking ship. It really is. You have a total max speed of 1,290. Not bad. No quantum drive, and it has the same amount of shield as the other 2 ships, 1,350 bubble shield, but only 3,082 ship HP. So even more so, if you get hit by anything, you better start praying, because you are not going to last long at all. Keep that in mind. But if you want to go out there and start racing, this would be an amazing ship to do it, and it looks fantastic. It's got, cool little stickers and sponsors all over it, and it just looks fantastic. I love the normal blue paint on it too. It looks great. Now let's go ahead and move on to the last variant, the Fury MX. Now this is considered the bomber variant, and there's good reason for it. There is not a single gun present on this. It's all missiles, and you can see that right here. You're looking at this thing going, holy cow. Honestly, this ship would be if, Maelstrom was in, and Maelstrom is where you can kind of rip a ship apart depending on the armor on it and what it's built of. This ship feels like a good spear ship, like a kamikaze. You get in the pilot seat, you arm all these missiles, don't fire them, arm them, and just go directly into the side of a target and just creating a gaping hole in whatever you hit. That just seems like, doesn't it? It has like a spear look to it. But this is your quote-unquote bomber variant. The bomber word is used very loosely in Star Citizen. You either have a massive torpedo, you have a bomb, or you have missiles and no guns. It's an interesting use of the word. Outside of that, again, 1,350 shield HP, 6,614 ship HP, a max speed of 1,250, 12 Ignite 2 missiles, which those are size 2, and then 8 Marksman 1 missiles. This ship doesn't have much going for it. Even as a swarm ship, it's kind of lacking. It's probably not the one I would choose. To be honest with you, if I'm going to go with any one of these Furies for a combat situation, it would be the base Fury. You have a lot more potential to do damage there, as missiles are hit and miss, literally, and I don't know how master modes are really going to treat this ship, because it's missiles. There's no guns. Now, if I wanted to go on a race, I would love to sit in this ship and race. It's very fast. So, not a bad choice at all. One little cool thing about this ship, though, is it does have a different style of cockpit here, and what I mean by that is the cockpit also has a little bit of advanced technology. Due to the fact that you are considered a bomber variant, if you look up here, you do have a blast shield, which you can deploy, And you're going to be like, well, I can't see. Well, it turns into a digital screen display for you so you can still see while protecting you. If I were to go into third person, you'll see that is just cameras on the front of the ship, and it looks awesome. So that's meant to, you have explosions going on all around you. You're not going to shatter the glass on your cockpit and sit there freaking out as you lose oxygen and lose control of your ship. So that is the Mirai Furies. Honestly, they are fun little ships, especially if you have a couple of them and you're out there having a fight. Yeah, and you have something to transport them with, but outside of that, they're very limited. They're very specialized in what you're going to do with them. You're either going to race, or you're going to have someone carting you around, or you're going to cart your own Fury around and hope to use it in a situation, which doesn't usually present itself too much. Now, I will show you, when you do take off and you take your landing gear up. I just pressed N, landing gear up. It just moved those bottom engines up. Now, if I press left Alt K, it is going to open the engines, and that's on every one of them. They open up just like that. But if I were to go ahead, and this is a racing variant, I'm going to put it at max, and I'm going to go ahead and take off. This ship just gets going. So it is quite amazing. It's very fast. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd want to race with this because it's so fast. I mean, this is scary to say the least, but I know there's people out there that can absolutely race, and they probably just really kill it with this thing. What would I rate these ships? It's tough because there is no quantum drive. Based off of that, the lacking DPS, the limited ability of what they can do, honestly, the racing variant, for being a racer, no QD drive, it's an 8 out of 10. The base variant is a 7 out of 10. The MX variant is a 6 out of 10. Those are the 3 ratings I have for all 3 ships, just because they do have their pros, but they're just as many cons as there are pros, honestly. Probably more cons, just because they're very limited, very specialized. Let me know what you think of these ships down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching.